everybody, and they're pretty much going across the galaxy, tearing ass and killing everyone.
So they're the real.
No, yes, no. And so the Avengers are like,
The Reapers are coming.
shut up. And so the Avengers are like, no. And so they decide to try and stop them, but pretty much they realize that this is a galaxy-threatening event, and they're gonna need more.
And then pretty much when the Avengers leave, Thanos is like,
No, we'll get to that.
Uh-huh.
But, so yeah, and then there's the Galactic Council. Pretty much all the other alien races, the Kree, the Spartax,
the Shi'ar,
the Skrulls,
the Brood.
all those people. You probably don't know a lot of these.
We don't.
Well, I knew a couple of these. I knew about the Skrulls and the Shi'ar. The Shi'ar were mentioned in New X-Men, which we both read. And I didn't know about the Spartax. I had heard about the Kree. I never had seen them, or the Brood. Annihilus is there. I love Annihilus. He's in the FF series. His costume design is just awesome. And apparently he's got these, like, I didn't know about this. Apparently he's got an annihilation wave kind of power thing. I don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome. Maybe it's not. I don't know. So yeah, and pretty much the main conflict of that stems from them getting together with the Galactic Council and trying to fight off the Builders, but the Builders being, like, super powerful, and there's a lot of stuff there. But on the other side of the story is...
So, pretty much the Avengers leave Earth, and only, like, a couple of heroes stay behind to, like, protect Earth, and then Thanos is like, there's no one on Earth, and then he's just like, and he's pretty much looking for... He's looking for something.
He's looking for something.
We don't want to say what it is because it's a spoiler.
It's a spoiler.
Like, I don't really...
Actually, no, wait. We said at the start we were going to spoil things.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's looking for his son, pretty much. Yes, apparently his son... Okay, so the Inhumans are very important to the story. The Inhumans are, like, sort of mutants, but not really. They get these powers by entering this thing called the Terrigen Mist, and apparently Thanos has a son that is an Inhuman. And it's pretty funny how Black Bolt, the king of the Inhuman and a member of the New Avengers, describes it. He's like, long ago there was an Inhuman woman who left, and she went into a dark corner filled with dark holes.
And the dark things.
And more dark things, and they had a son. It's like, they fucked, we get it, okay? And so that person had Thanos' son, and Thanos' son is apparently on Earth. And so Thanos is like, I'm going to kill this person.
And Thanos is also looking for, if you didn't know, spoiler ahead.
We already said spoilers. You don't need to say that.
Pretty much, for those of you who don't know, the Infinity Gems were destroyed. And what is Rene doing? The Infinity Gems were destroyed, and apparently, like, only one is left. And Thanos is also looking for that. It's the Time Gem, I believe. The orange one.
Yeah, wait. I'm looking at it right here. The gems. Give me a second.
Wait. Give us a second. We're doing important research as we speak.
Yes.
And by important research, I do not mean Wikipedia.
We would never use something like that. We would only use the most professional of Marvel official history guidebooks, exclusively pre-ordered by GameStop.
Power to the players.
Ready for everyone. Oh man, this is taking a while. Keep going.
Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing with Infinity.
Okay, no wait, I got it. Okay, I got it. So yeah, there's 6 gems. There's a soul, a time, a space, a mind, a reality, and a power gem. Each one OP as fuck. And pretty much they were all destroyed through some random event that we still don't know what it was, except for one gem, the time gem, that just disappeared. We still don't know where it is or who has it. We're assuming Black Bolt has it for reasons. We think. We're assuming. And so yeah, and so he's looking for that as well. And he pretty much brought this group of people called, what are they called?
The Outriders, I think.
No. Yeah, that's the name, but he gives them the Call Obsidian.
The Call Obsidian are like Thanos' bros.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
They're also called the Black Order.
That's the one. Or Black Riders? No.
Black Order.
Okay.
Black Order.
So yeah, that's his little group, and they're hunting down around the Earth, and so that's pretty much that series, and up to the first 5 parts, not first 5 parts, the first 3 parts is a 6-parter, which are the blue issues.
Blue, red, and yellow.
The blue, red, and yellows. And so we've read up to there. We think it's pretty good so far. I really like it. I like it more than Battle of the Atom and Well, I haven't read her very well.
Okay, so there's one thing I don't understand. Like, I get that, Thanos was in Avengers for like 2 seconds after the credits, but since this event was advertised as like a really Thanos focused story, it really isn't. It's more about the builders and then pretty much fucking shit up. And I really don't understand why this was advertised as Thanos, Thanos, Thanos.
Well, first of all, it was the first big Thanos story in a while. And second of all, it's because I assume they had believed that Avengers 2, like everyone else believed, would focus on Thanos, but then Justin was like, no, it's Ultron, and so then they were like, shit, we still have to do this event. But they did it, but they are doing it, and I'm enjoying it. I like both halves of the stories, although I do have my own problem, ironically, but I have it with the builders instead of Thanos, and it's just that I'm not very sure what their motivation is right now. Like, I get that they want to get to Earth and blow it up, but why? Aside from the fact that Earth has kind of gone through a lot of shit and they're annoying to a lot of the other races, I still need like a more concrete reason, like something big, like there's something hidden on Earth, or like the builders made Earth first, or they come from, or something, some big twist.
Well, up to where we've read, they haven't really told us like a.
Maybe they did in the green parts. We don't know yet.
And,
but.
Anyway, so one thing I don't really like is the way Jonathan Hickman makes dialogue. Like, his dialogue is just way too long and complicated. Like, there's one part where the Avengers and the Galactic Council are discussing battle plans, and they're saying stuff like, we're gonna fight them off at the corner of the black hole negative zone wave, and then we're gonna split up the brigade. And literally, the only thing I understood from that was we're making battle plans.
Well, I disagree there because I like that type, not excessively long like that, but I like it because it adds sort of a depth. It really makes you feel like you're there and you're discussing the battle plans with them. But I can see where you're coming from. That's not my problem with Hickman's dialogue. I do have I have my own problem with Hickman's dialogue, and it's that I don't feel like he really gets a lot of the characterization right. Like when Hawkeye's there, Hawkeye has a lot of lines, and I don't feel like he's writing Hawkeye. I feel like he's just writing a guy called Hawkeye. Like, Hawkeye speaks in a very specific, not a very specific way, but like he has a distinctive tone to him, especially through the Hawkeye series by Matt Fraction. And so I'm not getting that same vibe here. Like, when I read his Captain America, that's like, yeah, that's Captain America. He's like, soldier, we need to fight the troops and stuff like that. Like, I think that's his best written character in the whole series, in the whole event. But then there are others like Black Widow, where it's like, make her say comrade at the end of one of her sentences, bam, Black Widow. And it's like, that's not enough. And I haven't read a lot of the main Avengers series, so I don't know if they've been developed there. But all the other new characters, like Cannonball, that guy, Starbrand,
Ex-Nihilo, Nihilo, however the hell you want to pronounce it.
He's slightly developed there. You can see his voice there. But other people, like those guys, they're not really that developed that much. Like, I don't know.
Like Hulk, he's one of the main Avengers, and he's not really doing anything.
He's there and he does stuff, but yeah, he's like one of the least used there. Probably the least used is probably Thor, because he hasn't even said anything. He's done things.
Well, up to where we've read, anyway.
Apparently, in the green issues, he does do things, which I guess Hickman was like, I probably should do something with this guy. But Hulk is also, like, he's there, but he hasn't done as much as you would expect him to do. That's one of the problems of having such a huge cast like Hickman does. Like, there's not going to be no space for everybody. So far, he's given the most space to Captain America, Hawkeye, Spider-Woman, Captain Marvel, and Black Widow.
Like, Thor is...
And Nihilo and Abyss people.
Because Thor is, like, my favorite Avenger, and I love his series, and I'm just not seeing him in Infinity.
Well, the green issue does have him on the cover, so maybe we'll get more of him. Maybe all these comments are just bullshit. And, like, Hickman's like, no. And so, before we move on to Battle of the Atom, I also wanted to mention that, so we mentioned earlier the Infinity Gems, and we keep talking about how the covers have colors. Well, I thought about this.
You said the colors have colors.
No, I said the covers have colors. Okay, no. Yeah. And so I kind of noticed that those colors and the names of those gems sort of reflect off the colors of the covers. There's a lot of colors here. But okay, so the first ones are blue, and the blue gem is the mind gem. And in those issues, we kind of see a lot of the effectiveness of the builders, and there's a lot of discussion, and there's a lot of very mental stuff there, as in mind. Then after that comes red, which is power, and those power issues, the builders are just, and Thanos' crew is just dominating, like they kick ass. They're showing off the power of their crew. Then in the third part, which are the yellows, which is reality, and reality's power allowed you to fulfill wishes. Now in those parts, the Avengers start winning, like they start having a comeback. But if you notice something, New Avengers does not have a yellow issue. Why? Because the New Avengers are not doing so well. They're not getting their wishes more or less granted. Black Panther, it did defend his home country, but it's gonna get fucked up pretty soon. Namor's country got fucked up. Doctor Strange got mind control. Black Bolt is dealing with all this stuff, and Iron Man and Beast and Mr. Fantastic are just like, eh. And so, yeah, I like how they're reflecting that. Maybe like the next one is gonna show off the soul and the spirit of the Avengers through the green color. And then the only leftovers one would be purple and orange, space and time. So I assume either space is going to be the last one or time. I'm thinking space because, you know, the whole thing has to do with space. But I don't know. We'll see. And, okay, yeah. So that's pretty much Infinity overall. Really like it. Hoping it keeps up this pace. Really awesome. My favorite. I like it, but no, not my favorite. I like it more than X-Men Battle of the Atom. But we'll talk about more of those reasons yet. Pedro?
Yeah, I like it so far. Like I said, Hickman's dialogue doesn't really appeal to me that much. I think Thanos should have, like, more of a prominent role in it. Because, you know, this whole thing was advertised as, like, Thanos fucking shit up. But the builders are fucking shit up.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a bigger role. There's gonna be something there. There's gotta be something more to all this.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, and Black Bolt has a pretty prominent role in the story, and I like Black Bolt. Like, the moment I read about what Black Bolt's power was, guy says one thing, and it's an explosion, I'm like, yes, this guy's awesome. Okay, Battle of the Atom. Battle of the Atom is the X-Men event that is going on, and pretty much, what it is that if you haven't been caught up with what's going on with the X-Men...
okay, so,
oh boy.
pretty much...
do it quick.
Okay, so, where do I even start?
So Cyclops has been an asshole because he killed Xavier, now he's a bad man, and so Beast was like, I need to, like, figure this out. So he pretty much went back in time, because this is the best idea, brought back the original X-Men, and he thought that would essentially make Cyclops be like, oh man, I need to change my life, but not really, it's just caused more problems. And so what that's led up to all now is that there was an incident in the first issue where the young Cyclops gets attacked, and because he almost died... young Cyclops gets attacked, and because he almost dies, old Cyclops, or modern Cyclops, starts to disappear from the timeline. And so they're like, we probably shouldn't risk that happening again. And so they decide to send them back in time, back to their own time, but the X-Men don't want that. They're like, we don't want to go back. We know what's going to happen to us. You know, Iceman knows that he's going to evolve into something weird. Beast probably isn't pissed off. He doesn't evolve that badly. He does turn into a hairy guy, but he's still awesome.
Angel, he has no idea what the fuck is going on.
When he turns evil? I don't know. And
Cyclops turns evil, and Jean Grey, she died.
Twice. You know, you'd be totally cool with that. And so, yeah, they're not cool with that. And so pretty much Jean and Cyclops end up escaping. They run away, the runaways, in order to not get sent back in time. And so pretty much the first couple of parts focus on trying to get them back. But there's a little bit of an extra thing that comes with this. Out of nowhere, X-Men from the future show up and are pretty much just like, you have to send them back or else time's gonna go bad. And so they're there. I like the designs that they gave them. They all look pretty cool. There's Xavier's grandson.
There's like Demon Lord Ball Beast. Abominable Snowman, Iceman. Sorn. We won't tell you who Sorn is yet.
We said that was gonna be spoilers.
Oh, we'll tell them later. Who else? Who was the other chick? The Runaways.
There's a member of the Runaways, Monica something, and so she's like a grown-up version of herself. She looks pretty cool. I never read the Runaways, but maybe I want to read it now. And an older Kitty Pryde.
Oh, and Deadpool.
Oh, and Deadpool, yes. I like that cast. I like their designs that they gave them. The only people I feel aren't really necessary are like older Kitty Pryde. I don't really see her have much of a purpose there. I get that she was like the lead. She was like the leader for a while, but still, it just kind of feels like she isn't contributing that much to the thing. So yeah, basically that happens. And so for the first couple of issues, they're chasing them down. They're trying to get them. Eventually, they almost capture them, but they end up escaping again. And Jean and Cyclops get to Cyclops' island, where he has his own thing going on. Older Cyclops island, where he has his own thing going on. And pretty much they confront them about it. And eventually, all the other X-Men show up there, and they have this like super battle. And Emma Frost ends up teaming up with Jean Grey to fight.
And the Stepford sisters.
And the Stepford Cuckoo sisters. And they team up to fight the Zorn person, who is revealed to be old Jean. I mean,
young, old, new. Okay, so pretty much she's from the future, where Jean stayed in the present and grew up to be in that future, and then came back to this present, where she would grow up to be that future. It's not confusing.
You're asking too many questions. So yeah, it's the Jean from the past, but now all grown up, who went to the present. And so
current Jean, all grown.
No, past Jean who
past Jean.
No, past Jean who came to the present and became the current Jean, and then grew up and went back in time to the past, where a past.
No, it's not the past. It's the
comic books. And so they have this really cool psychic battle. I thought that scene was really good, and basically it ends with them fully defeating them, and Jean ends up tapping into. Young Jean ends up tapping to...
No, not young Jean. Young...
We're just going to refer to the other Jean as Zorn to make it less confusing. So young Jean taps into Zorn's mind and ends up seeing a bit of the future. We don't get to see what she sees. And she pretty much tells Cyclops, yeah, we should probably give up because of what she saw. And so we're like, I guess this is ending. But while this is going on, Beast and Iceman are back at the mansion.
And they're watching TV.
And taking care of Jubilee's kid.
Because she has a baby.
It's not her... Well, she didn't give birth.
A baby!
And they're there, and Magic, Colossus' sister, shows up, and she's like, you must go to the... I'm assuming she has an accent like this. We must go to the future so you can see something. And that's Jamaican. Whatever. And so she takes them to the future where the future X-Men claim to be, to see what exactly is going on in that future. And when they arrive... Dun, dun, dun.
The future's beautiful.
The future is beautiful, and there's all these other people who are there, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing there?" There's this old wizard dude who looks like Iceman, but it's like,
It's like Ice Gandalf.
Exactly.
There's like Iron Man or something.
There's a guy who looks like Iron Man, but with Sentinel armor, and he has red eyes. There's this little black girl who is on a tiger, and so a panther, so she might be the daughter of Storm and Black Panther, but it's like, I thought they broke up. And there's apparently Cloak's son, Cloak's son possibly. Peter at Quincy, what's his name? Quincy, the kid with the pink hair.
What's his fucking name?
From Wolverine.
Kid Omega, but...
Well, Kid Omega's his superhero name, and it's him, but he has the Phoenix power for some reason. And finally, Colossus with a mustache. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And so they're there, and it's like, what? And that's where we left off. That's the last thing we read. There's been more issues, but we have yet to read them.
Well, something I didn't like was their use of Thorn. Because when Grant Morrison did first introduce him, right?
Yes, he created that character.
So when Grant Morrison first introduced Thorn
in a series New X-Men,
he was this really awesome mutant who had a star for a brain, and that was really fucking badass. And I don't like that they took his persona and just made it into another character. Like, they took a really awesome character and made it into another one.
Well, okay, so I have a counter argument to this, but it's kind of a spoiler for something that happens later in New X-Men. Okay, so if you read Battle of the Atom, there's a very specific line that's said about the Zorn helmet. Do you remember that line?
What line?
Someone says something about someone wearing the Zorn helmet and doing something.
I don't remember that.
Okay, so it's good. Because there's something later in the new X-Men series happens with Zorn. I'm not going to say it. It got spoiled to me, but I'm not going to say what it is. But it kind of justifies the fact that Jean is wearing that helmet. I'm not going to say it. It's a spoil. I want you to read the series. It got spoiled to me because I like to read Wikipedia articles. Don't look up Zorn. When you're reading something, never look up that character because it's probably going to be like, the character sex balls. And it's like, damn it. And so, yeah, but there's something there, and what that happens justifies the fact that old young Jean Grey has that helmet, but I won't say what it is. But, yeah, when we finally finish that series, because I bought the first part, but I haven't bought the rest 2 parts, then we'll be able to we'll deal with that. But, yeah. Okay, so my problems with it, and this is the reason why, my problem is the reason why I think Infinity's better. Of course, they haven't ended, so maybe it'll switch up, but I don't think the conflict in X-Men Battle of the Atom is something that's that big. Like, it's like, oh, there's these young X-Men, they're getting away, let's capture them.
Yeah, but there's like this counter-argument that Brian Michael Bendis also like presents, that pretty much if the the present X-Men, one of the X-Men fail, time's gonna get fucked up.
Well, yeah, but it's just, when you compare them, there's a big difference in what's at stake. In the battle.
Well, it's either reality itself or all of existence. Like,
well, in Infinity, it's much larger because it's not like oh, the future could be fucked up. In Infinity, it's like, no, we're gonna get fucked up now. Like, the builders are gonna kill everyone now, not in the future. And so I think Infinity has something bigger at stake, and that's why I like it more, because it's more like, oh shit, and stuff like that. Well, X-Men Battle of the Atom doesn't have something that's that interesting. Maybe they will reveal something, because maybe that twist at the end will lead to something far, far bigger. But for now, Infinity just kind of seems to have this bigger grasp on the main conflict and how it needs to be resolved and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's more or less the main reason. I still like it. I still. There's a couple of other more minor issues there. There was one issue, one of the parts, I can't remember, I think it was part 4 or 3, where the artist just fucks everything up, and there's constantly things that keep showing up and then keep disappearing. It was
Storm's Eyes. There you go.
Oh my god, nobody knows how to draw Storm's Eyes. I'll tell you that much. It seems like how nobody knows how to draw Beast. This is how the way you judge a good artist if they can draw Beast correctly or not. Steve Epting is the master of drawing Beast. So, yeah, that's pretty much our little thoughts on that. That's Infinity and Battle of the Atom, Marvel's 2 events right now. And so overall, Infinity good, Battle of the Atom good, Infinity slightly better. We'll see how it goes. Pedro?
I kind of like Battle of the Atom more because it like has a more defined conflict. And, like, all the characters have prominent roles. Not like Thanos, where his role isn't really that prominent so far.
Well, we'll see.
And so, upcoming events from Marvel include Inhumanity, event by Matt Fraction about the Inhumans.
With art by Joe Maduro, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
That's gonna be after Infinity.
And December.
And then there's gonna be an Inhumanity series after that.
No, Inhuman.
Inhumans.
But that series goes along with the event. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. So obviously the Inhumans are gonna be in an interesting position at the end of Infinity.
So any predictions for Infinity or Battle of the Atom?
Well, for Infinity, of course, this might be a lot of these predictions might be wrong based on the issues that have come out. But for Infinity, I'm predicting that Black Bolt has the time gem, and he's essentially gonna go back in time and do something related to Thanos. I think that's what might happen, or he's gonna do something time related that's gonna be an attempt to solve the situation, because there's that big machine that they showed off. Wait, did they? What? No.
Wait, wasn't that the machine that transported them to like another dimension or something?
No, yeah, but that machine did something else. It was meant to do something else. I don't remember if they showed what that machine did. But I feel like that machine has something bigger to it. I'm not sure. But yeah, that, and and I think there's gonna be a big twist with what the Builders have. Like, there's gonna be something more to that whole Builders arc and stuff like that. And for X-Men Battle of the Atom, I just pretty much hope that the future X-Men thing becomes a much more bigger deal, like to give a more bigger stake to it. And also, another thing, oh my god, I just remembered this. But the other thing that bothered me was the fact that, and I know this was going to happen either way, but the fact that when they announced the the Guardians of the Galaxy All New X-Men crossover, they pretty much told us that the All New X-Men stay.
Well, what if, like, this takes place before it?
No, because that wouldn't make any sense. Then the whole resolving would be non-emotional if the next issue suddenly still had them there. And so, yeah, like that was probably bound to happen, like...
Well, maybe it could, like, lead into it somehow.
No. It's going to take place after it. And so, yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I like the all new X-Men. I like how they're there, especially like if they were to send them back, which it's obvious they're not gonna. I would probably just say send everyone back except Jean, because Jean is like the only one, like, she has no Martin self. Her Martin self's dead, so she would be the only one that makes sense to keep.
Well, no, fuck.
What?
So if she stays, there's gonna be like another future Jean who's currently in the present. So technically there is a current Jean.
No, those people are going to go back to their time.
Shut the fuck up. Time travel.
So yeah, that's pretty much that.
So my predictions. For Infinity, I want Thanos and the Builders to be connected somehow. Because I want Thanos to be like a bigger part of all this. The Builders are obviously after something on Earth. They want to destroy Earth for some reason. Thanos fucked a bitch, and he has a son. The missing Infinity Gem. I think, like, I don't really know who could have it. Maybe Black Bolt, Black Panther. Who knows? So yeah. And for Battle of the Atom, I don't fucking know, honestly, because that first half ended in like a cliffhanger, and it just left me with so many questions. Well, pretty much like Rene said, the all new X-Men are obviously gonna stay, so they're not gonna go back. Maybe they're gonna win. Who knows? So yeah.
And on that note, we're gonna end the podcast. We would like to say. We're gonna try and make these every Friday, but unfortunately we weren't able to do it this Friday. This is being recorded on a Saturday, and we're gonna upload this after we finish this. But yeah, we're gonna try and make it on every Friday.
Maybe Saturday or Sunday, depending on.
No, we're gonna try to make it on a Friday. We're gonna try every Friday. Don't count us on it. And well, what else? Oh, right. Next week's episode, it's going to be a Halloween episode. We're still not sure of exactly what we're going to do related to Halloween. We're going to do something Halloween-ish. But the format you saw in this episode, we'll hopefully keep it consistently like that. So, yeah, thanks for listening. Love those 2 views / 9 views, whatever, out there. Keep watching. If you want to tell your friends about this podcast, that's great. We're not really going to do any kind of social exposure or try to make our podcast expand it like that. We just kind of want this, like, oh, if you find it, congratulations, you're listening to a good podcast. The podcast will get better as time goes on. I'm not saying we're amazing right now, but we're going to try and keep constantly making it better and making it as best as we can for you. So, yeah, thanks for listening. This is Rene signing out.
This is also Pedro signing out. I apologize for my annoying voice.
Your voice is not annoying. It's beautiful. Oh, I just remembered. Pedro apologized for screwing up that Batman thing.
What?
You said Batman. The Batman thing you said. Remember that I told you screwed up?
What Batman thing?
You said the year Batman was created.
Oh, yeah. So in the last podcast, I said Batman debuted in 1938. I was wrong. It was actually 1941.
Say you're sorry to the people.
I'm sorry to people who are watching
Don't
us.
insult them. I love them. If you're real. If you're real, then yes. So yeah, that's the end of it. Sorry this went on long for a bit. I don't know exactly what the time we're gonna make this is. I would like it to be 30 minutes, but it's probably gonna sometimes go longer than that. It's almost at an hour now. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching. See you later, guys.
See you later.